In order, roll call, sir.
Commissioner Buckley.
Here.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Here.
Commissioner Cater.
Here.
We have quorum present.
As you wish, please stand for the pledge and invocation. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Clerk.
Dear Lord, we thank you. We thank you for this past week, Easter celebration of the risen Lord. We also ask today, him, our colleague, is being buried. We want strength and comfort to his family during that time. We also remember and ask that you keep in your loving care Ken Rohr, public defender for 30 years, who was buried yesterday. We ask wisdom and guidance for all the decisions that are made today. And all these things we ask in your Son's name, Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Okay, the consent agenda is on the board, has been published. Motion, please.
Make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Any questions at all? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, extension quarterly report, and thank you for putting up with us in the schedule this month. I mean, we put you on the third week this time,
It's
so
okay.
thank you for your patience.
It worked with my schedule too.
Awesome.
Good, that's what-
Kendra has guests, so we have guests.
I do. So we're doing something a little different. We do have the report. It is written. I've given it to Linda, so it'll be in the minutes. If you want to read, and so I'm not going to read. What I'm going to do is introduce Miss Amber Wampler and her daughter Eva. They're going to talk about how they benefit from extension. So without further ado.
Perfect. Been put on the spot now. Again, I'm Amber Wampler. My husband is Justin Wampler. We've been married since 2003. We have 3 daughters. Eva is our oldest, and she's at Lincoln Intermediate School right now in Farmington. We are a farm family. We operate a farm in St. Francis County. My husband actually hauls quite a bit of the grain to ADM in St. Louis out of this county. So we have beef cattle, we raise registered pygmy goats, and then we do show hogs. The kids are in 4-H and whatnot. But my husband row crops part-time. He works in the city and he hauls grain and he row crops. He's a very, very busy man. And kind of the programs and the services that the Extension Office offers for us, hay testing, and soil testing, especially for my husband, you know, with the row crops and hay testing for our cattle. We've actually had years where we've done silage. I don't know if you know what silage is. We will plant wheat usually and do silage testing on our wheat silage hay to make sure that it's appropriate for them to eat. Publications. I can't tell you how many emails I get from the Extension Office, and I appreciate every one of them with information for cattle reproduction, hay forage, you know, information. You name it. Every bit of that information, they take the time to send to the community, to myself. It's just one of those essential things that I appreciate so much, because I learned so much from it. Something my husband, because he does row cropping, is he has a private pesticide applicator license. And so there are restricted chemicals that he uses, and the Extension Office is the one who facilitates or has those training programs through their Extension Office, and he has to have it. And so without them facilitating that program, he can't do his job, you know, in this county, and, you know, be able to buy the chemicals and apply those chemicals in a safe manner, and just be able to purchase them to begin with. And they're essential. Unfortunately, I know some people may not like the idea of chemicals and whatnot, but in the agriculture industry, they're an essential part of production. So, Show Me Select Heifer Sales. I raise cattle. The select heifer sales, I've been to one, it's been a few years, I've got heifers I would love to put into that program myself. I don't think people really realize how great of a program it is and how much time and effort that the extension office puts into that program. You know, every producer wants to be able to just put those cows out in pasture, and you don't have to really look at them again until you need to work them or feed them or whatever. You want them heifers out there producing calves and milking them, and they're growing, and you don't have to really lay a finger on them. And that's what the Show Me Select heifer, to me, does. It guarantees you heifers that are productive, pregnant, and just quality. You're gonna have a good calf. They're gonna take the sale barn, you're not gonna have to pull that calf, as in helping the birthing process. You know, it's a no-brainer. A little more money for them, but they're worth every dime of it. Informational meetings. I know Mike is doing a lot on hay foraging right now. You know, they have several meetings that even, you know, my daughter with the 4-H and stuff will kind of get into that we attend. I know they've had ones in the past for like tractor repair and fence repairs, and you know, and kind of go over the costs. We had one meeting, I know a couple of years ago we went to, that introduced the new USDA loan officer, which was a great opportunity because we have to work with her now. You know, so that was a great introduction to get to talk to her. So they facilitate a lot of, you know, meetings and stuff that are beneficial for the community. And I'm just doing the farm part. They do more than just the farm, you know, agriculture-based type stuff. So, and going on to 4-H, I am the St. Francis County Poultry and Rabbit Superintendent. This is my second year, I guess. I'm getting to implement the fair stuff for our poultry and rabbit kids, and I cannot tell you how important of a resource they have been to me. So the Poultry Peeps, which is the broiler project, which was Casey Amsden's baby, she started that program. I don't know if you know what broiler chickens are. They're the one to eat, the meat. And so Casey started that, and I took it over, I think in its third year. She kind of started it, got it running, and I took over, and I'm trying not to mess it up and, you know, keep it going. We have a lot of kids that do it. They get a pen of 3 chickens, they take them to the fair, they show them, and then they sell them. And so they make a little money in a short amount of time. We usually have them for about 8 to 9 weeks, and then we take them to slaughter. And a lot of the families buy extra chickens, and so they're keeping them at home, putting them in their freezer. And so these kids are, you know, not only learning, you know, production and entrepreneurship of selling them, but they're learning how to, you know, grow their own food and put it in the freezer for themselves and their family. Casey again, she helps me pick up the chicks at Cackle Hatchery, and she helps me with meetings. We have a meeting every month starting in March until fair, and like I said, I could not do it without her, especially advertising. She is a genius on the computer for getting the word out to everyone about our meetings and what's going on. But as far as 4-H, I guess I'll let this kid take in kind of, she goes to all these meetings that they have besides, so. There you go.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I am Eva Wampler, and she's my mom. And I want to talk about 4-H today. We have gotten funded from the extension office for a lot of things. We went to the capital of Missouri, and we met governors, we met senators, and it was so much fun. And I'm just very grateful for that and for the broiler project. Raising the chickens has been a good amount of knowledge to use to raise them. And you know, you gotta take a step outside every day, and you gotta feed them, water them, you know, clean their pens out once in a while to keep them all healthy. And that teaches you responsibility. to go out there, you know, you gotta be responsible for the chickens, because nobody else is gonna take care of them. So, because it's your responsibility, because you're gonna show them, you're gonna sell them, and you sell them to make profit. Like, when I sell my chickens, I put it into my college funds, so I can go get a good education and get a good job. STEM at Lincoln. Casey Amston, she and one of the teachers there, Ms. Helms, they have funded STEM, and STEM has helped me with computer technology. I learned how to code a lot of things on these cool little technology pieces called microbits, and they made all these cool little coding, like digital designs. And I really love it because we get to learn much about technology, and Casey, she has done all the funding for it because she usually brings the snacks and she gets the microbits and just funds a lot for the STEM club. And STEM club has been fun for a lot of the students there, and it keeps them up to date on the technology. 4-H camp, Treasure Island camp, I signed up for that one, and I'm really excited because I heard that it's gonna like be out in the wilderness somewhere, and I've never been to a camp, so I mean it's gonna be a new experience for me. Aerospace camp. Casey Amston, she came in STEM. She's like, okay, we got aerospace camp, and I'm hoping that maybe you would sign up. And originally the price of it was probably $500, but we did get an opportunity. We got a scholarship for it. It was so great to get a scholarship for it, and I'm very excited for it because it's gonna be in the summer, and there's.
And where is it gonna be at?
Oh, it's gonna be in Rolla at the
At the university?
University of Aerospace.
Pretty big deal, yeah.
And so, finally, they have many more fun experiences planned for the 4-Hers. And I am very grateful for them taking the time to fund us and help us through 4-H of all the years we're going to be doing it. I'm very thankful for the workers that work there, and I'm very grateful for the fun experiences they have gave me. Thank you.
Hey, I do have one question.
Oh, yeah.
to ask them.
I've got 10, so go ahead.
The boiler chickens. Now, I've noticed since egg prices went up, I've got 3 houses on my block that have chickens. And it's amazing, they're supplying the whole block with eggs. And I asked them about the cats are real bad because I live by the park and people come around dumping. Them chickens defend themselves against the cats, they run them off. And it kind of surprised me that the cats.
Puts a whole new meaning to the word chicken, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I just want people to know, I don't know, since eggs went up, just look around your neighborhood and see, this is pretty amazing. I got to watching how many people have little chicken pen. They're in, but it's pretty amazing around here, people that's got chickens now.
I've got some questions. What are you gonna major in? In college?
Oh, I'm not in college,
No,
but.
when you get there, what?
Oh, I would probably like to do politics.
I have a question.
Poor thing.
Would you like to be county commissioner?
We'll bring up an extra seat, that's all right.
Yeah.
We gotta pay for law school first.
Yeah.
We gotta sell more broiler chickens. so.
Start that.
Now, back to farming.
Yes.
How important is GPS to fertilizer, planting, chemicals? Is your tractor computer-based?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, my husband has a Raven, I can't remember what brand
Okay.
it is. But anyway, yeah, he doesn't have the steering, he's not that fancy that has the auto steer, but absolutely GPS is, technology has just come a long ways on, well, it not only with the chemical and the fertilizer and seed, it just helps, cut costs.
Yeah.
So you're not overlapping
Oh,
too
yeah.
much with your
Maybe.
fertilizer and your
Yeah.
chemical and all that stuff. agriculture, or you wouldn't think old-time agriculture and technology, they are just go hand in hand so much together now. It's, you know, who knew satellite GPS imaging would be helping farmers someday? It
And
absolutely.
I'm also, when does drones come into this?
There are guys who actually utilize that. Well,
Yeah.
my husband's got a friend down in Fredericktown that he uses it to spray some of his fields with. It's pretty good size. I can't remember how many gallons they can get on that thing. but
300 and something pounds.
Something like
yeah.
that. And, he's crashed it a couple times and
Mhm.
had to.
Had a heavy application in that one spot,
But
yeah.
apparently, or either a operator error, I don't know what it was, but yeah, it's come leaps and bounds, and the
Yeah.
extension office is one of those that gives us a lot of that information and provides a lot of that resources of.
The Dietrich farm out about where I used to live, had somebody come in and had a drone the size of a utility trailer. And it would land on that trailer automatically, suck up fluid out of that into its tank, and take off and go back to where it was, and then complete the application.
Yep.
And it's just wonderful how they do that, so,
Yep.
yeah.
People don't really realize how many farms are in this county and how much of an impact economically it is in this county. We've got thousands of acres that are in farm production
Mhm.
right now, thousands.
Yeah.
And that's a multi-million-dollar economy
Mhm.
here, so, you know.
I've never been around row cropping, so I've never been around that. It's always cow calf or something like that.
Yeah, we don't have
Because we don't have any
that, he's
topsoil.
got a spray coop sprayer right now, so. He just got a Kinsey, 16-row Kinsey planter now, so I guess he's kinda coming up in the world a little more. He wants to get done a little faster,
Yeah.
so.
Well, thank you. Anybody else have any questions?
No, good luck at your camp.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Well
Sounds
done.
like camp,
Well
so
done.
that'll be awesome.
Very well done. We appreciate you. Thank you, Kendra. You just worked yourself out of a job, I
I
think.
think I did. The reports are up here. I did
There
write
you
reports,
go.
so the reports are up here.
It looks like there's a ton of stuff in there.
Yes.
We gotta get you back to school.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, I gotta get her back to school.
You're welcome to hang around too. if you-
Well,
Okay.
there goes my job when she gets old
Yeah.
enough.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, he'll be glad.
There went one vote, yeah. Okay, approve annual bids, there they are, and, representative pictures, motion?
Oh, I make a motion, we approve the annual bids for the election, sheriff's department, and for jail food, and the sheriff's department for office supplies.
Second.
Question?
What kind of food is that there, Harold?
I don't know, it's a
Jeff,
picture of
you
it.
serve that out there?
I think it's a salad. I think it's prefab salads, aren't
Do they eat the ink pens?
Pretty good. No, that's for the office supply.
There's machines that give those, those salads are pretty good. If you ever get one out of that machine, that green machine, those are good.
I know where that.
They're
goes from.
expensive, but they're really good.
Okay, did I get a motion second?
Yes.
Okay, any other questions? All in favor of passing those annual bids, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Wrong way. Okay, bid opening, asphalt.
Two bids?
Excuse
Bless
me.
you.
Allergies. You got it.
You're allergic to that? Oh, my.
How many bids do you have for asphalt?
Two.
Two? Okay, and they'll be on the front table, if you wanna come up and take pictures?
This is for the annual bids, yeah. So this isn't a project, it's just so he can, best price that he can.
Potholing and patching.
Yep.
Thank you, John.
Yes.
Hey, thank you very
Appreciate your
much.
bid, thank you. Okay, is that all the bids for the asphalt? Okay.
Yep, be careful, thank you.
Moving right along, bid opening for cleaning supply. And I wonder if he got samples this time.
He does.
Yes.
Samples were, yes.
Lots of them.
Lots.
Lots of them.
Well, you're giving her Brian, don't give her Brian, give them these ladies, they're the ones that are gonna say, yeah, we like that.
Enough to get us through about half a year or anything like that? How many bids do you have for this?
Well, there's 4 different companies.
And these will not be acted on today, they'll be studied and make sure all the bids are appropriate. And again, the bidders could come up, or anyone could come up and look at them, photograph them. Not alter them.
No.
Jason, I have a pointer here for this thing about the railroad. I got a picture. Didn't call you Ralph or anything.
No, you got it right.
That
is
is
better.
It usually starts with a J.
Just the J.
It might be Jonathan or Jesse.
Wait, we can't do that. Don't we have a new guy I think starting today, it's Jay.
Yeah.
Can't pronounce his, we're having trouble pronouncing his last name, so he said, just call me Jay. So, give you a different name.
All of you are having trouble with his last name?
Bids we have for, no, for, office supplies.
That's right here. So there was cleaning.
This is clean.
Yeah.
Four,
4 different.
how many, I was wondering, Linda, how many we have for the, it would be the office and election supplies, sheriff's food and all.
They
That
already,
was-
that was already.
It was already did.
Yeah, this is just approving that.
Okay.
So they have approved.
They've already approved it.
Yeah, they just had to finalize those.
And there's four, you said there's 3 different bidders?
There was
4 different bidders on the.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome, multiple bids, so. Yes.
Okay, we got them all open?
Yeah.
And are they all on the table?
Yep.
Okay, does anybody else
I
need?
didn't take any of them.
You got it? You have.
Yeah, but did you change any numbers? or
No, I
anything?
didn't take
Okay.
any.
Thank you for doing, we appreciate your bid.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a
Thanks
good
for the
day.
bid. Okay, that ends that one, and they've been publicly open, so we're going on.
Yes.
Okay, proposed stop sign on Bray Road. Who's going to, Jason? Gunther, whatever the name is this week.
So Commissioner Buckley and I met with Jason Kreitz with the Department of Conservation, and they purchased the old Cameraman Pest Control, which this is an old picture because they got a lot of new buildings out here and this house is gone. But they're gonna be congregating all their construction equipment here. from their-
Conservation Commission.
Conservation, from their different satellite offices
It'd be 3
around the different
counties.
counties.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be pulling out of the road here with numerous tractor trailers, flatbeds, with bulldozers and whatever.
Slowly.
Slowly, yeah, I mean, cause it's pretty narrow. They are gonna widen this driveway so they can make the swing either left or right, leave it there. Most of the time, they're gonna be going out towards Pimville because of the issue of getting out on 221. So, talking with Jason, I think they got a 70-foot trailer hooked to their Kenworth and they'll be pulling out, and it's gonna take some time. I mean, you know, we've not went down there and timed them, obviously, but the speed limit's 35 on Bray. You know, the individuals stop here or they turn them off Pimville, but by the time they get to the top of this hill, there's lots of cars doing 45 or 50. Now, I drove it in my truck, and me and Carrie and Jason were out there standing, and when you're coming in a car, line of sight distance at 3.5 foot, because an individual in an automobile, that's about where their eye level is. And you get to almost to the top of this hill before you can see down this hill. Now, stopping distance on dry pavement at that speed, 35 is about 180 feet. And that's reaction time, apply, action. So doing 10 over, you're looking at more 200, 220 feet, 250 or greater on wet pavement, stopping distance. And there's multiple utility poles here, and over here you don't have much. So our concern is accidents, people coming through here and ending up contacting one of these trailers pulling out there. Now I could put some, you know, trucks entering signs here, hidden driveway, But those are just cautionary signs, and people get used to it. So if they're constantly coming down through here, never seeing a truck, those are just gonna, might as well be bushes. So we talk about possibly putting a stop sign on southbound only, right here at the top of this hill by this utility pole. Now, if people run the stop sign, they're still gonna slow down. So hopefully with that stop sign, and we'll put a red flasher on it, so people know it's new. You know, I'm assuming we'll advertise it some way. And that's just, we gotta get people to stop there to avoid those accidents. Because if there is an accident, it more likely is gonna be, you know, serious injury or possible fatalities.
You know, and I know what's gonna happen here. You're driving out there and you think, what in the world? They put a stop sign here.
And what's the stopping distance for the stop sign?
Well,
It's at almost at the peak of the
so
hill.
if it's at the top of this hill, they'll be able to see the stop sign from plumb down here. So line of sight to the stop sign is with a good quarter mile, 1/8 mile at least.
And then another thing, you got at night where they're not working, but if, I really think we don't put that stop sign up, and you're probably
Yeah.
still gonna have an
Cause I mean, if we
accident.
look, you know, if you're familiar with this area, there's concrete barriers here where people were coming down Pinville and just flying off in this field.
Did somebody hit a horse there at one time?
Lot of wrecks there.
And I'm sure
Lot of-
Buckley Towing pulled a lot of people out of this field. So it's just a safety thing for the citizens, and you know, when we talk about stopping distance, you know, they use that 85% rule, but when you talk about young drivers or elderly drivers, their reaction and their panic is a lot different. So, we're looking out for that demographic also.
What's the distance between that stop sign and the one down on, what, 229?
Now, I didn't measure, but I'm gonna say.
Pretty
it's
short.
700 foot.
Yeah, it's pretty short.
724.
Kevin, what's your opinion on that?
It's not a good situation any way.
Are you asking the elderly voter or what?
Well, no, I know him being,
I bike that way,
he bikes
I
it.
bike that way, there's a dog just past those woods that comes out, it's not on a leash, that's a problem, but if you put a stop sign and you haven't justified it, I don't know,
well, the really
Well,
thing.
what I'd like to do is put a stop sign before we have to justify, I don't wanna lose.
Well, if you really go out and drive, this map does not even really give you an idea. When you're driving up that road, you literally cannot see till you get top of that hill. You're never gonna see that truck
I mean, so
until
me
you
and my
get.
work truck pulling out this top entrance,
Yeah.
it's hard to see over the hill.
Yes.
When you talk about down here, there's a 7-foot elevation drop from this driveway to that.
yeah, but you may have to put like like they do here in the city, you might have to borrow one, where you've got a warning sign when you first put it up.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
stop
stop ahead.
ahead,
Yeah,
and
and
it's
this will
flashing,
have
that's the
a,
way they do over here.
just have a red flasher on the stop sign. It will be flashing.
And that'll be distant, visible from a distance.
Correct.
Well, we're probably, there's gonna be a lot of people that disagree with this, but
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, if you don't put that up, there's gonna be an accident there, and probably will be one with it up.
Well, right now,
Yeah, it's not gonna be good
conservation's
with
not
that.
out there yet, right?
Right.
No, they're in the
They're
process.
working.
But they're not there. So somebody's seeing all this and they say, well, what in the world's that all about?
Right. It's preemptive, I mean, it's just, I mean, this is a protection for the residents.
Well, they're gonna have to be mad, I'm sorry.
You know, a
Guys,
stop
we're here
sign,
to-
a
we're
stop
here
sign's
for
a
safety.
5-second delay versus.
I'm not worried about somebody yelling at me because we put a stop sign up, so. I just not, sorry.
Well, it's definitely, it's the only way to
Yeah.
protect them. And more than likely, the state, they were talking about maybe in the future, putting a road entrance in there, they're just not right now. But,
Yeah, they tried to obtain this property.
Yeah.
The state of Missouri didn't wanna purchase this, so they have to use this.
mhm.
We also do stop signs by ordinances here, county, right?
Yeah, yeah, I need you guys to
Right.
approve this stop sign.
Okay.
Just like we did with the speed limit.
Yes.
Time factor, when will conservation be out there? When is this gonna happen?
Well, so, Jason told us.
They're working as we speak right now, they're moving
So
stuff.
they plan on being out here pretty quickly.
Now, you talk about not coming out at night, but what about the fire? That's when they bring out the book trailers
Yeah.
and bulldozers. And that's gonna be slow load.
And like I say, once we put the solar light, flashing light on here, we'll leave it on there
Yeah,
for a while.
till they get used to it. And at night, if people that's not used to this, you know, there's gonna be people when you're driving down that road and thinking it's just a stop sign on a road, but they're not gonna realize what it's for.
Yeah, and we'll put the stop ahead sign, you know, 400 foot from this. You know, probably after the intersection would be the best, that way people have.
But-
they'll notice
They'll
it,
they'll
but
get
like-
used to it. It's just like when we closed down 67. You cannot imagine how many calls I got, how we were, and that was after about 20 fatalities.
Yeah.
So, people are gonna complain,
They will.
but they'll get used to it. They don't complain now about that.
But even
No
after,
crossovers on 67.
Nope.
even after Conservation Commission is there and established, you're not gonna see that traffic very often, the
Right.
slow traffic coming out.
Yeah. Well, like I say, I can put up warning signs, but people get kind of numb to those.
Yeah.
Because they're driving through there all the time and they never see anything, so it's just like,
Okay. All right, motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the proposed stop sign at Bray Road at the top of the hill of the Missouri Department of Conservation, new
that's just to
facility.
the north of there.
Yeah.
Southbound
Yeah.
only.
I'll second that.
Do you have to cite the ordinance or anything? I'm just asking.
Any questions? Okay, all in favor of putting that sign up, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Jason. Okay, next meeting will be right here next week. Come back to me. Other business, correspondence. Public comments. Departmental reports. If you, around this building very much, you knew Kim. You talked to him once and he was your friend. So we lost him last week and there's the details of his service. So, he's a friend, we miss him. Okay, the beams are in for the Berry Road Bridge, 145. We only had one beam that long?
No.
No.
The four.
No,
All four of them are that long?
Well, they're kind of staggered because the bridge kind of
Okay.
turned. The longest one was 126 feet or something like that.
Well,
And it weighed 100
103.
And it weighed 126,000 pounds.
Okay. So it's 143 instead of 145.
Well, I said ish, that's.
Yeah, so they set those first four Thursday. They worked until probably 9:30, 10 o'clock, Thursday night, because they were off Friday. And they're supposed to set the other 3 sets this week.
Tomorrow will be another
But
set come in.
yeah, this was the longest span, they call it. And then the other girders are a little shorter.
Okay.
in length.
It all depends on if you measure where the
And this
steel
don't give
comes
you a
out.
very good idea of how big those are, but those are about 7 foot tall from bottom to top.
These divider sections, I can't get my, anyway, between the beams, what is that material?
You mean attaching them?
Yeah, the
That's
divider,
it's
yes.
steel.
Oh, it's steel.
Yeah.
So with that salt load, you can put steel in there. Okay, I'm surprised. Okay. All right, any questions on the bridge? Sheriff?
Moving along. You've already parked your car, you're walking up to the.
That's one of the views I often get, so I thought I'd put that one up.
Going to be a very quick report. Calls for service this last week are at 405. Total for the year, we're at 5,831. Our inmate population is at 139. We went down a little bit.
Yeah.
123 males, 16 females. Tune into our Facebook page for tomorrow, which is Warrant Wednesday. We've been doing that now for 4 weeks. We are 6 for 6. We had to add some because 1 week was really fast and the citizens wanted more warrants. So we're 6 for 6. We've got them all. So thanks to the citizens, the other agencies that help us locate these individuals with warrants and get them into the system. So that's all I've got.
You're gonna start selling Fridays?
Warrant Wednesday's enough.
So I seen an article talking about you guys getting body cams. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, yes, I can.
Body what?
Body cams.
Body worn cameras.
Yes.
What we're doing is we're doing testing and evaluation. We're looking at, I think, 4, maybe 5 different manufacturers. That's not in the budget, so We don't have the funds for that. So maybe next year, but we want to go ahead and do the testing and evaluation. That way we know kind of what we're looking at. There's a lot of things that go into that. You know, a lot of people say, go out and get body cameras. Well, there's retention rates, there's storage. There are some things you can record that you can't record, juveniles, you know, there's some issues there. You have to have a good policy with your body cameras. When do you turn it on, when do you turn it off? You know, there's some people out there that want it on 24/7 when you're working. You know, what do you do about restroom breaks or eating lunch or something like that?
Yeah, you still got privacy to protect.
Yes, so there's a lot that goes into it other than just buy body cameras. How long's the battery life? We work 12-hour shifts, some battery life's only 8 hours. So there's a lot that goes into it, so we're doing that right now. And being prepared so when we do our budget, we can submit for that and see where that goes.
And these
There
things,
are grants.
once we have them, they'll be sunshined constantly.
That's
We got a
another thing,
sunshine
so-
request yesterday for the body cam, which we informed them we don't have any.
Correct, so that's another thing that people don't realize, how much staff time it's gonna
Administrative
take
cost.
to pull these body cameras and or answer all these sunshine requests. So yeah, that's an issue we have to look at, so.
Now, does the sheriff's department, when you do vehicle stops, do y'all have cameras that record a vehicle stop?
In-car cameras?
Yeah.
No, we don't. So that's something else we wanna look at, but it's like everything, it costs money and it's, everybody wants it, but nobody wants to pay for it.
Yeah, I only wanted more detail because the article I read was very undetailed.
So, yeah, but that's what we're looking at it, seeing if it's gonna be feasible.
Thank you. Anybody else got a question?
One quick comment, the cameras they put up around the courthouse, speaking of sunshine,
Mm-hmm.
you guys put up really good quality. I mean, everybody should know, right, they better not steal anything off our lot or anything, because you can see everything. I mean, it's very clear, and so if somebody's stealing something or breaking into a car out here, or T-boned somebody at this intersection, we can.
Which happened lately.
Which happened lately, we can read their license plate, so.
And they zoom with very good clarity.
Parking lot.
Yeah, or if you're in the middle of the parking lot, that's why I'm saying that they should realize that if they're gonna come here and steal, that we're gonna be able to identify them.
So don't come in here and steal anybody's tax bill.
Yeah. We're back to that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sheriff. Hey, Ralph, come on up. I messed his name up, a couple of weeks ago.
So we're still cleaning up storm damage here and there. We're getting, the proposed roads that we're gonna overlay, we're getting culverts changed out on those, getting them saw cut and ready to go, doing some widening on some. Where we did some widening and wedging on like Patterson School with the recent storm, some of it's got washed, so we're repairing those areas. And just basically right now I'm waiting in anticipation on these bids so I can see what we're gonna get on the ground versus what we gotta cut.
Dollar-wise.
Dollar-wise, yes. We're still patching roads here and there. We got a crew out today doing that.
And that's not our equipment, we don't know anything like that, so.
No.
Is this the pay you're talking about buying?
Well, no, it won't be like that.
Okay, I just wondered.
We don't need a cab.
We don't need one?
No, that's just extra money. What else? So we've done a lot of personal or driveway culvert installs. We had 3 calls today about people wanting to extend their culverts and stuff, so we've been doing quite a bit of that. Still got a long list of stuff to do.
Do they buy the culvert?
Yeah, they purchased the culvert.
The pipe.
And then,
The pipe?
yeah, the tile.
Tile.
And then when they call us and tell us they got it, we get the locate done, and then we go pick it up
Yeah.
and take it out there and do it, so they don't have to worry
That's
about
awesome.
carrying a 20-foot culvert around.
Yeah.
So that's about it.
So you'll advise them on diameter and length,
Yep.
and.
Well,
Yeah.
length's up to them. Like, they can do 20 foot, 40 foot, but we do tell them the size.
So our
Minimum
people-
usually 15.
Our people transport the pipe, they show them the receipt.
Yeah, we dig out their old one, put the new one in, or install the new one and rock it in.
Now, so we do the placement, rocking and all that, they just gotta provide the pipe.
Yeah,
And
now
then-
they'll usually call and say, we want it here, and we'll go out there and assess it. Sometimes if there's rock, we have them move it, because you had to go rent a rock breaker and do all that to get your depth, so we might move it 5 or 6 foot.
Or a little bit better high spot or something?
Yeah,
like that?
so we get it as close as possible.
Okay. All right. Any questions? Okay, are there any other departmental reports?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, aye? Thank y'all.
I'm going to Craig.
Yeah.